All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Back here on Real Life Productions channel. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Hopefully they'll say it. But title here says, I went to a Diddy party. Former model is at Napah, Shadah. I don't, we'll see. Reveal what she saw at Diddy elite party. I doubt if there will be any name dropping here. Again, I try to watch these videos to inform myself, to see if all these stories I'm hearing, if they all kind of sound alike. Cause again, for you to sit down on that couch and give this information, is bold. So I know a lot of people who don't want to be mentioned, don't want to, we gonna see. All right, we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Like if you wouldn't eat the raw meat, you were looked down on. Like you're not okay. We know who you are.
Okay.
But if you ate it, you were like, okay, you're one of us. You're part of the high class. But it was just bizarre.
Did you ever see like a baby goat back
You know
there?
what? Okay, I went to this party.
Here we go.
It's called Fancy Dress. I lived in London with the other models. They made us dress as the Wizard of Oz.
Interesting.
And I was a Tin Man, but it was sexy Wizard of Oz. And then the other two girls were, the Lion and the Straw.
Yes.
So they drove us for hours. I can't even remember. I think I want to throw this out here and say Manchester, but it was in the woods at night. And then when we got there, it was just all candelabras, like all candles, no lights.
Yeah.
And we came in, I was young. I was like, I think I was 19, maybe 20. No, I couldn't have been even 20. I think I was 19. So I wasn't as savvy, but I came in and it felt off, and they were like, oh, they're here. Us, the three of us.
Yeah.
And the lady, this older lady came up, and it's fancy dress, so we had on costumes. They all had on costumes.
Oh, wow.
So she brings us the wine, and I started feeling like weird.
Real life. It ain't real life. Just say real life.
As I think about it now, it's been a couple of people who said this, but I remember Jaguar saying that they approach you with like a tray of things, different things for you to take. Depending on what you take off that tray will let them know if you are going to pretty much advance to the next level, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you don't want to take nothing harder than that? Okay. All right. You know what I mean? Yeah. This going to get crazy.
Street stars. Know what time it is.
How was touring with the Wu-Tang Clan?
Touring with Killer Priest and the Wu-Tang. And also there's another group called Moon Crickets in Canada. It was great. It was wild because I had never seen, I used to sing in a band for myself, but it was like a jazz rock band.
Yes.
We opened for No Doubt. This is before No Doubt was ever famous.
Oh, wow.
In Southern California, but I digress. So I was doing that. I've seen that. But the hip hop crowd, they got a lot of love and they show so much support. They are really a great diehard crowd. So it was awesome. It was a great experience.
Being in that, do you believe in Illuminati? Just being in...
Do I believe in them? I thought that came out that they're real, y'all.
Yeah.
I believe in the Illuminati. No, I mean, yeah. I have some stories.
Yo.
We maybe should have started out with the stories. When I was modeling in Europe, I went to a couple... I saw some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy parties.
I've been to Puffy's white parties.
What happens at Puffy's?
I don't want Puffy to listen.
What happens at Puffy's white parties that
I'm not going to talk about Puffy right now. No, what do you...
You see how people get? You know what I mean? She like, oh, I ain't gonna talk about, you see how they get? So it's like a lot of people know it's all this craziness that happens, but they don't really want to, you know. Boy, just look at her face.
What happens at Puffy's?
I don't want Puffy to listen.
What happens at Puffy's white parties that
I'm not going to talk about Puffy right now. No, what do you want to ask? Maybe I can answer it.
Yeah. So my question is, are there back rooms to back rooms?
Oh, there's always back rooms. Yeah, that's okay. Real.
Is it free access to women to get into these back rooms if you choose to go?
I just realized, like she said, maybe I can answer. So she don't want to just give. She wants him to ask questions, and then she might answer. But you know she knows a lot. You can tell she knows a lot. She just don't want to say it. Jeez.
Rooms.
Oh, there's always back rooms. Yeah, that's okay. Real.
Is it free access to women to get into these back rooms if you choose to go?
No.
So even women aren't allowed in some of these back rooms. Yeah, it's just
a certain group of groups. I've never been to a back room, but I have been to. Wait, I take that back. It wasn't a back room. It was like a really, after we did a runway show, I forget who it was, so I don't want to lie, but it was in Europe. It was high fashion. Every time we did a runway show, there would be food afterwards, and they'd have all raw meat, like raw oysters, carpaccio, tartare, all raw meat, sushi. Well, not so much sushi, but sashimi. Yes. But it'd be all raw.
Wow.
So that was something that we had to, like, if you wouldn't eat the raw meat, you were looked down on, like, you're not, okay, we know who you are.
Okay.
So. But if you ate it, you were like, okay, you're one of us. You're part of the high class. But it was just bizarre.
I've said it before. Watch the movie Hostel. I forget which one, because I think there's a few. But when they went in that one room and you had like a guy who was like a doctor, he just had a dude on the table and he was just alive. And the dude had a fork and a knife.
Ever see like a baby goat back
You know
there?
what? Okay, I went to this party.
Here we go.
It's called Fancy Dress. I lived in London with the other models. They made us dress as the Wizard of Oz.
Interesting.
And I was a Tin Man, but it was sexy Wizard of Oz. And then the other two girls were, the Lion and the Straw. Yes. So they drove us for hours. I can't even remember. I think I want to throw this out here and say Manchester, but it was in the woods at night. And then when we got there, it was just all candelabras, like all candles, no lights. Yeah. And we came in, I was young. I was like, I think I was 19, maybe 20. No, I couldn't have been even 20. I think I was 19. So I wasn't as savvy, but I came in and it felt off, and they were like, oh, they're here. Us, the three of us.
Yeah.
And this older lady came up, and it's fancy dress, so we had on costumes. They all had on costumes.
Oh, wow.
So she brings us the wine, and I started feeling like weird, but it could have been just that I didn't drink very much. And I was asking the other models, do you feel weird? But they didn't want to act like they felt weird, like off, because then they would be seen as, how do I say, not in.
I talked about it. The movie, the remake of House Party. The remake of that House Party movie, when they end up having to go, I don't want to spoil it for people, but they had to go somewhere to get something. And they went, and it looked like Eyes Wide Shut. And they thought they were drinking wine, but it was something else. So, yeah, and they were trying to like not show it that, it was weird, but
like square or corny or, oh, you're not a part of this. So they told us that we were going to go out to the barn.
Oh, wow.
They're like, I'm shortening the story a little bit, but they're like, move the party out to the barn. And that's when my spidey senses were like, you know.
Get up.
And there were horses and cows and sheep and goats in the barn. So I called my sister, and she was like telling my manager, take her home. I don't know what's going on there. And so he drove us. He left. We left the party. But so when you said goats, that was strange to me that we were going to go out to the barn.
Yeah, no. There's a movie called Midsummer, something like that.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's right out. It's right on that level. It's right on that level. It's definitely creepy. What made you get out of stop singing and touring or modeling? Was there something that made you stop either one?
I got older and got married and had children, and so he didn't really want me to do it well, and I didn't really do. I did some things here and there, like commercials, but not the high fashion. Definitely not the high fashion. The high fashion was when I was skinnier. I was 107 pounds. I'm 5'9". Wow. Yeah, so. Wow. I was really slender. But when I started getting my lady lumps, right. I said, they started putting me in more commercial stuff. And that's when I did like the music videos and print work I worked for different agencies, LA Models, Ford Commercial. What else? What other modeling agency? Can't remember. Those are the two major ones that I...
No, definitely. Amazing.
Yeah, man. When you see the look on her face when they, you mention his name, it's like, it's crazy, man, because again, they say the biggest thing is that they hide it in plain sight. I've talked about that. These movies, like these movies literally put it right in our face. The movies and The Simpsons. And it's up on us to believe what we see, or at least try to inform ourselves. But a lot of times, people are too busy dancing to the music. A lot of people want to be famous. They want the fame. They're willing to do anything for it until anything becomes anything. And then they're second guessing what they're doing. Next thing you know, they're turning to drugs, and it gets real crazy, man. It does, man. It's not like when they say selling your soul, like these people be wanting you to lose yourself to become the artist that they want you to become, so they can control you. So all of this stuff that we're seeing now, these videos, these people talking and all that, I mean, although she didn't seem that comfortable, but there are some people who are starting to feel comfortable to talk. But it gets really deep, man. It does. It really does. These parties, man. These Hollywood parties, they be crazy. But hey, appreciate y'all coming over and watching, man. Peace out.